It's sort of a response video to a PZ Myers video, European Atheist Convention. Just more of this kind of discussion about what atheists should be, or what they represent, or how they should argue, or how they should present themselves in the world, and all this kind of crap. What does it mean to be an atheist? What does it mean, to accept nature as your creator? Crude, dumb forces, and let's call them that. Are the atheists afraid of those words? We are created by dumb forces. It's unintelligent design. It's gladiator war for the sake of gladiator war. It's replication for the sake of replication. Now that's where we're starting from. That's the premise of atheism, isn't it? Is there some other fucking foundation to build on? I don't hear you.
Starvation in a bomb-based slum, and no one will even know it existed. That's the reality. There are just
okay. So he's talking about the fact that now there's this is his ending, and so I just wanted to, because it just pissed me off. Anyway, so he's talking about the idea that but there's this injustice in the world because there's no God. There's nothing to fix it. Okay, there's us. I've made the same point. Alright, that's all there is. But he doesn't say we should fix it, really. Yeah, not really.
This is that we must oppose on this earth because there's no heaven or hell to even the scale.
Alright, now, heaven and hell doesn't even the scale. Now, does it really? I mean, the religious gods are kind of idiotic, right? They don't have, like, undo power. They don't just, like, undo the horror. They just punish somebody, right? They just create more pain, more suffering, more crap, okay, and say, I've imposed justice, right? When we already know that the only point in, like any intelligence already knows, the only point in having punishment for human behavior is deterrence, is to prevent other people from doing the bad thing. So, theoretically, once God smites us all for good, what's the point of punishing forever the people in hell? Because no one's going to learn from it. I mean, it's really dumb also to put people in a prison they can't see. It's like that scared straight thing. Maybe God ought to give us a little glimpse of this hell. Except for the one on earth. Give us a real glimpse of this other kind of hell, and maybe people would shape up. Do a little scared straight documentary there, God. Why don't you do that? No. That would be infinitely intelligent. And, the God fables are infinitely retarded. Fuck. It's just so depressing when you think about how stupid this is. I'm having a conversation about how there's not a magic poofter who, doesn't have a goddamn brain, who thinks there's a point in punishing people to fix things that were horrible. Like somehow, if you punish the people who poisoned the people, who made them all sick and they all died horribly, somehow if you punish the guy who did it, that makes it all alright. No. If you're going to be God, then just undo the tragedy. Why don't you just prevent it in the fucking first place and throw the fucker in hell beforehand? Why don't you just say, I know what you're going to do. Fuck you. I'm going to smite you. Wouldn't that be a more rational, sensible, logical God? Of course. So that's, God is stupid.
The non-existence of an afterlife is a fact that science tells us. It's one of the fundamental substrates of our reality. It's a deep truth that ought to inform our decision-making.
I don't even know what that means, but obviously, see, I don't know if you can say it's a scientific fact. It's a scientific fact that there's no evidence of any fantasy fables. There's no trolls or fairies or pixies or, I don't know, seven-headed Mongolian tree eaters. Yeah, any fictional, I can make it up. I guess it's non-fictional. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Well, whatever it is. Any made-up crap is crap. And, yeah, that science can tell you.
Contrary to the deep delusions of religion. But what we do with that knowledge requires that we go beyond science. Science is value neutral on whether, at the awareness of your inevitable...
Yeah, whatever. Science is just the same process as logic. Science is just deduction based on observation and evidence, and then you just put the pieces together. So just as it's science, if you figured out a maze and how to get through the maze the most efficient manner, the thinking process of looking at what we are, identifying a few premises of value, like, oh man, pain and suffering is bad, happy, joy, fun is good. Yeah, not really complicated. Then apply science to that simple equation. I mean, it's really, all you're trying to do is maximize whatever you value, and so the values aren't that fucking hard to figure out, are they? Unless you're Thunderfoot, of course, and you think the only value is survival. Because the DNA told him so.
You should collapse in despair, or you should joyfully embrace your moment.
Good job, cameraman guy. You shouldn't fuck with the camera once it's already started. Once the game's already begun, just leave it alone.
Moment of existence and celebrate. A positive atheism is going to give you a reason to do the latter.
A positive atheism. See, now what the fuck is that? A positive atheism. What? I mean, why don't you just say corrupt and bent and perverted atheism? It should be an accurate, realistic, rational, logical atheism, not a positive atheism.
So there's no God. We're done with that. The next step, save a life, find a cause to battle for.
Save a life. You can't save a life. You can't do it. It's a scientific impossibility. You can't save it. You can prolong it, and that's all you can do. So why don't you just say that honestly? Prolong a life. In a world of 7 billion people, like it makes a goddamn bit of difference. Like you could buy you can buy hours and hours. You can buy a week's worth of human life for 58 fucking cents on this planet. So let's not talk about, I saved that well, fuck you. You didn't save shit. Alright? Because they eat, they consume, and they, nonsensically reproduce. You don't want to save lives. I mean, I don't want to tell you what you really want to do, but yes, saving them is not, you don't want to save these fucking monkeys.
Educate a mind, rescue a species from extinction.
Rescue a species from extinction. I mean, come on. I mean, what the fuck? Why? Because it's a species? So, is polio a species? Shall I rescue it from your attempted extinction? I mean, come on. Bogus bullshit. Do what the DNA says. Do what the DNA says. Be a Borg to the DNA molecule like all the rest of us scientists. Stare into the headlight of the DNA molecule. I mean, come on.
Someone smile. That's where atheism
Make them and smile. Well, that's just special, isn't it? That's special all over the fucking place. I'm smiling. You made me smile by saying something ludicrous.
No. Because that's all there is. And it's
that's all there is, says you. Okay? What there is a big fucking cesspool of shit. Alright? Of organisms eating organisms. Life eating life. Okay? Feeling things, hurting feeling things, consuming their welfare for their welfare. This is an idiotic, fucktarded, insane planet. It's a bug planet. Admit the truth and then talk about fixing that.
Pretty damn wonderful situation we're in.
Pretty damn wonderful situation. Now, did you hear that? We're in a pretty damn wonderful situation. We figured out there's no God that's going to fix anything. There's no justice. There's no fairness. There's no undo button. All of the price is stuck in history forever. All the millions of people that have died horrible, crappy, shitty deaths. It's all, we're fucking all stuck with that as the price for our wonderfully stupid, inane, futile existence, watching American Idol and eating ice cream. I mean, come the fuck on. This is some sort of magnificent position I'm in that I can see the shit and smell the shit and realize I'm just a fucking piece of cog that's going to get ground up in a grisser mill into a whatever grist. Fuck.
Thank you.
You're not welcome. Really irritating. So anyway, the questions and answers were stupid, so I won't even bother with that. But it's this whole thing, you know, why should we give any credence or latitude to the religious? Fuck them. But if this is the alternative, again, this is all they're talking about is, okay, let's just fix a couple of social policies, abortion and gays, and then once we fix that, well, then, yeah, let's all be religious, is essentially all they're saying. We share exactly the same values as the Christians, except for the gay abortion thing. Just about everything else, oh yeah, we're right with those assholes. Pretty much. The same idiotic, inane values, like, oh, survive, survive, survive. Like, that's all that matters. Doesn't matter whether how many people you consume to survive, or how many suffering animals you consume to survive. Let's not get into that, you know, morass of reality. So anyway, as always, another disappointing atheist.